I'm going to show you a demonstration of Intrusion Shield. The Intrusion Shield was designed to inspect every packet in and out of the network by looking at the header and footer to ensure only communications with known good destinations. This is one of the unique features of Intrusion Shield. It proactively kills or blocks dangerous connections. You can see here on the left side, we reflect the actual number of kills yesterday, 38,000, and today, just over 22,000. These are the number of blocked connections, inbound and outbound, that went through the network that were to dangerous locations or from dangerous locations. Now, if you look down below, you can see the traffic that was allowed through the shield. Specifically, you can drill down deeper into what was connected. We're going to look at France here, and you'll see that when we click on that item, what happened was there was 32 TCP connections as well as one UDP session. When I drill down further, I can see all of the connections that were allowed there. And I can see here, this connection was passed. It's shown in white, which tells me that it was good traffic and it was safe. Again, you can look at more details here if you like, and we'll go back to the dashboard. On the right-hand side, you look at the network health. The first thing I want to point out to you here is that we had over 6,000 kills that got through the firewall. This is not that uncommon, as firewalls do, in fact, have limited number of data sets. And again, these are connections that would have come into the network that were killed. Below, we talk about offending devices. You can see this particular device, the specific traffic, and here's the first time you'll see our risk score. We actually rate the risk of connections from 1 to 5, 4 and 5 being the highest. And these are the various connections that you can see. I will say that a 3, as an example, the SolarWinds attack came from a level 3 risk vector. And our shield would have, in fact, prevented that particular SolarWinds attack. You may be asking yourself, well, why were these things killed? Or what information is available in the shield about the specific connections? Well, you can see that by clicking down here, where you can actually see the specific source, the destination, where it was resolved, what country it came from. You can also see the server location here. And then you see our risk score of 4. And this tells us the reason it was blocked was it was a list for risky and malicious activity, spamming, phishing, ransomware, and active persistent threats. Now, it's important here to call it that we stopped this connection. This connection likely was a backdoor or a Trojan that was attempting to penetrate our network. And again, Intrusion Shield proactively stopped this connection before it could do any harm to your specific network. Oftentimes, this information is helpful when you're investigating devices, these offending devices on your network that you may want to go do more inspection on. But you don't have to, because again, we proactively kill these connections. There are the cases where you may want to allow connections to occur, and you can do so by just clicking here on that box and then going up to permit connections. Now, when we do the add permit, it's going to ask us for specific information about how long we'd like to allow it. And you can do that as simply as clicking the box and then adding a reason. And we're going to add test here just because we don't want to keep it there. And then it's been submitted. Now, once it's been submitted, that connection will be allowed until it is disallowed or until the time expires. In this scenario, you can look at all permitted connections here, and you can very easily manage these by searching for tests. And I can go into the one we just added, and I can then disable this permit. That is, move it back to a blocking status. I could even, if I would like, delete permanently this block by clicking here. Now it's been removed, and now it's been disabled and can in fact be removed from the permanent record of the shield as a permitted allow. Now that you've seen how the blocking and the permits don't work, I want to take you back to our map view. In the map view, you have a geographic representation of bi-directional traffic on your network. If we wanted to look specifically at a country, we could here select Russia. And notice that within Russia, I've got a list of 2 TCP connections, and I can click to get more detail. Here, as I drill down and see more detail, I can see I've got an Android phone that was trying to make a call out to Russia. Now, on the far right, in addition to seeing what's happening in the country, you can actually see the count of attempts that tried to reach. So here you can see the number of attempts that were tried of over 9.6 million, and we killed 12,000 of those. In addition to seeing the counts, you can flip it over to volume, and you can see here that the volume that we've been tracking is almost 82 gigabytes, and we've killed half a gig of those. This may seem like a big number, but it's not, because your network devices are constantly communicating in the background. Most commonly is when you're in a browser and you go to a safe news site, all of the pop-ups there are trying to communicate with multiple calls back and forth to create noise on your network and also create risk within your network. So as you look at the map view, we've also got some report views that we can show you. And here you'll have access to reports that are various frequency. And there's a basic form report here that we provide for you. And I'm not going to go into the detail, but you'll see that the report has got a very concise executive summary that gives you just high-level information that was real-time on the dashboard that's now static. We can also provide additional sections that give you specifics about DNS response kills and things that leak through your firewall. These reports can also be configured to be emailed out directly. And again, this is your Intrusion Shield dashboard, and this has been a very basic overview of the Intrusion Shield functionality. Thank you for your time.